Hi, my name is Clay Oliver, and I'm with Oliver Farm Artisan Oils, and we're here in Pitts, Georgia. So I was raised here on our family farm here in Pitts, and grew up helping my dad, Randy, with all the chores that he would give us. And we grew many diverse crops then: cotton, peanuts. We had grain, corn. We grew hogs when I was younger. We had hogs. We had cows, and just kind of grew over the years. And as the commodities kind of shifted, we kind of focused more on the row crops like cotton and peanuts, and we kept the cows. And though my brother Clint and I had always helped my daddy with his crops, we gradually wanted to get out on our own. And in 2005, we rented a farm a few miles from home and began working that together. And we farmed together from 2005 up until about 2016. And we focused on cotton and peanuts was our main crops, growing a little grain in between. Growing up on the farm, I'm a fifth generation on my daddy's side to live and work here. So very proud of that. And we have such a connection to the land that, farming's just in your blood, it's in your blood. And just love growing the crops, seeing the cycle of from seed to first growth to the harvest time. Is just a beautiful cycle, and it's different every year, though it's always the same, and that's the part I just really love about farming. 2008 was a pretty pivotal year for us. In the spring of that year, my daddy passed away suddenly from a heart attack, and as the farm was dealing with that, and my brother Clint, my mother Jerice, and I, we managed to weather that storm and continue going. And that's also the year that the economy tanked and fuel prices skyrocketed. And that's when there was a lot of talk about biofuels and alternative sources for fuel. And I just got to thinking, what could I grow on the farm to supplement our diesel fuel bills? Because it was really hurting us during that harvest time. And that seed was planted, and I just began doing homework and research on how I could turn something we grew into fuel. And I fortunately met some people along the way that just said to me, maybe think about food grade oil. And that was like, wow, okay. And fuel prices gradually went back down, and that desire though to do something with oil was just in my head. So the more I studied on it, I decided I was gonna try to make food grade oils. I started initially with sunflowers because I thought that would be the easiest for me to manage. And we quickly that fall got some peanuts, and I pressed peanuts and pecans by the end of 2012. We were doing those pretty consistently. And we've kind of expanded since then to add some specialty things and different oils that, maybe we don't grow the seeds like the pumpkin seeds or Benny seed, but we just really do some unique oil seeds. To make the peanut oil, we extract the oil by screw presses. And during that process, the oil is extracted, and then what comes out is dry proteins, the meat of the peanut, minus the oil. So we then take that and run it through a flour mill and grind it down really, really fine into this, we call it flour. Some people might call it peanut powder or dehydrated peanuts, whatever. But it's a really fine flour that happens to be gluten-free. And we found that a lot of people are interested in that for celiac disease or whatever intolerance they have. So this offers them a tasty alternative to some of the other gluten-free flours that are on the market. I love peanut cookies with them. They're my favorite. By 2018, we felt the oil business could stand on its own, and I sold the rest of my equipment to my brother, and Valerie and I focused solely on growing this oil business and developing our brand. Over the years, people have begun wanting to come see what we do, and they're intrigued by the process and the uniqueness of making cold-pressed oils. So coupled with that, we just said, hey, what could we do to bring some life into our hometown and have it as a place, a destination that people would want to come to? So Valerie and I bought this old service station and renovated it over a couple of years' time, and have now opened it this summer to sell not only our oils that we have here, but also other quality craft goods that we found across the country. We've met people at trade shows and events, and we said, hey, we want to support them any way we can. So getting them in here has been a blessing too, to be able to help them and to bring other neat things to our community. I went to a conference in 2013, and I met a guy who introduced me to Chef Steven Satterfield. And he tasted the green peanut oil and he was like, wow, this stuff is popping green, has such a fresh flavor. You must be pressing green peanuts, and which we don't, but we just use a really clean process, and the taste just tastes like it's fresh and green. So from there, Steven Satterfield took a bottle and he was on a PBS show, Mind of a Chef, with Chef Sean Brock. And they talked about the oil, and from there it just kind of got a little cult following from the chefs that they influenced about this green peanut oil. Then a few years later, in 2016, we won a Good Food Award with the green peanut oil. It was a very prestigious honor. It's based out of California. They have blind tastings and just really vet the producers to make sure they have sustainably produced quality goods that are made here in America. So that was a big boost to us winning that, and then on the heels of that, the New York Times did a story on the green peanut oil and how that chefs were going crazy over it, and that was, again, just put us on the map that we had this really neat product. We also take the green peanut oil and we infuse it with some spices. We like to dip bread with ours and maybe season different vegetables. I never dreamed growing up that I'd be doing something like this. I mean, it's been a dream come true once we started thinking about it. I mean, I get to meet so many new people. We've had chances and opportunities to travel to shows and things, to take my family with us. I never dreamed those kind of opportunities would come about.